Yes, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Yang, and I hope you're doing well. Really do hope that today, Chelsea's huge top priority goalkeeper reportedly says an exclusive on Footy Insider. Do we believe it? Well, in the words of Mulder, I want to believe. So we'll be reacting to that. There's an insider story on The Athletic. Lots of, by the way, I'm very aware, lots of positive briefings coming out from David Ornstein, Romano and everyone, but you know, I'm not going to read so much of the fluff pieces of all the opposition teams are scared of Chelsea, because quite frankly, like you, don't really want to hear it at the moment. But I do want to read this stuff about the goalkeeper, because that does, you know, tickle my fancy. And then Twomey and Johnson have done an inside piece on The Athletic. We'll look at that a little bit. And a shout out to some awards from the London Football Awards, because that's a positive. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content. As always, if you would like to, like the video, and that's nice of you. Subscribe if you choose to. Oh, my brain. Subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to. And I'm delighted to say this video is brought to you by... Wrong button, Yannick. Stocks FC. That's right. It's the online trading market, stock market for footballers. That's right. Test your footballing knowledge on the super sleek and fun platform, Stocks FC. A little bit like, I like to say it's a little bit like Fantasy Premier League, because you're utilizing your football brain. You buy stocks on players that are currently low that you think will go up, like I did with Reece James, and then his stocks soared when he came out of injury. An opportunity for you to, it's 18 plus because you put a few quid in, but demonstrate your footballing ability by checking out Stocks FC by clicking the link in the top of the description or scanning this QR code, which I will leave on the screen for the entirety of this video. Check out Stocks FC now. Alright then, one moment while I just prepare something on the screen. Alright, I think we're good to go. Yes, London Football Awards. Chelsea won some stuff, which is good. It's good to hear. The 2025 London Football Awards guru, Wrighton, won the WSL Player of the Year. So congratulations to her. Wonderful footballer. Superb. Very, very pleased to hear that. Unsurprisingly, Manager of the Year is Sonia Bombastor, the Chelsea women's manager, who has been nothing short of incredible. Undefeated, superstar, super team, super Chelsea. Very nice to hear. And hopefully a little confidence booster, a reminder of the powers that he does wield. Cole Palmer has won Player of the Year at the London Football Awards. I'm guessing the year, of course, in question is 2024. And if you look at his 2024, it was quite frankly insane. And that includes the beginning of this season when he was, you know, playing really, really well. So well-deserved Cole Palmer as Guru and Sonia. Well done, everyone. Good job. Okay, so let's talk about some... We're going to look at this inside piece in a moment. So for you guys who are interested in what's going on behind the scenes at Chelsea, we'll check that out in just a second. But I do want to check out this first. This is an article. It's a breaking exclusive on Footy Insider by a chap called Mick Brown. Shout out Mick Brown. Let's hope you're right, my friend. Chelsea ready, huge goalkeeper signing. It's top priority. Oh my god. Also, this aperture, I look like a freaking ghost, bro. Why can't I change it? Well, that's not helpful at all. Yes, I mean, I absolutely hope this is real, because I feel like, you know, I'm not saying Pedro Neto is the solution to our goal scoring woes. I think we just will sign a striker. As hard as it is to sign a striker, I think we'll get a striker, even if it's not the one that gets everyone excited, if it's like a Liam Delap that not everyone loses their mind over. Do you know what I mean? I still would be like, good. That is a centre-forward profile that is much, much needed. But goalkeepers is tough, man. It is tough out there. We've got 47 goalkeepers, yet we don't have a goalkeeper, if you know what I mean. So to read Chelsea make huge goalkeeper, ready to make huge goalkeeper signing, it's top priority. I've got to be real, guys. Like, this is music to my ears. I was replying to comments yesterday and the day before, like, as we were talking about strikers, and I was just like, guys, if we don't get a goalkeeper, I'm gonna walk into the sea, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to tap out. We need a goalkeeper so bad. So let's see what Mick Brown's saying. He's saying this: Chelsea are planning to sign a new goalkeeper in the summer, as Enzo Maresca is keen on an overhaul in his defensive unit at Stamford Bridge. We know he likes Wesley Fofana, or in his words, is in love with him. Not romantically, I'd like to suggest, but can you rely on Big Wes to be there? I'm not so sure in terms of injuries. That is according to former Man United and Blackburn chief scout Mick Brown, who remains very well connected within the game. He exclusively told Football Insider, this publication, that both Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen are seen as replaceable. Oh my God, yes. I mean, look. Do you know what my dream? We'll read on. My dream would be get rid of both of them. No offense. I don't really have an axe to grind with Jorgensen. He is what he is. I don't really with Sanchez. I'm not a hateful guy, but I'd replace both of them. I'd bring back Georgie Petrovic and be like, mate, do you want to be Chelsea's number 2? Because you'd be a great number 2. You should be our number 1 this season. And you could hopefully, touch wood, be playing in the Champions League. Maybe. He went on to explain that the Blues are prepared to spend huge money. Don't shoot the messenger. I am but the messenger. And oh my God, does this messenger want to believe? Again, X-Files Mulder. To land players they want in an attempt to back the manager in the transfer market. Sanchez's performances this season have been a cause for concern at Chelsea, which led to his axe from the starting 11 before Jorgensen's error cost them against the game against Villa. True. Brown previously told Football Insider Chelsea also want a new centre-back. We missed out on the deal for Murillo in January. I didn't even know we're in for Murillo in January. I understand how a team going for Champions League qualification aren't going to sell their star centre-back, but we move. However, a new goalkeeper is also high on their list of targets, and work is ongoing behind the scenes to identify a potential replacement on current options. Reports have linked the Blues with Southampton's Aaron Ramsdale. That's the kind of a buzzkill, isn't it? I was feeling really good up until Aaron Ramsdale. I know we've just stuck 4 goals past him. I'm still starting him over what we've got right now, but I mean, come on. Chelsea plot move to sign goalkeeper after Kelleher latest. I mean, we're getting slightly better, aren't we? But we're not really where any of us want to hear. Chelsea want to sign goalkeeper, is it Quihim Kelleher? I can never say his first name. And they would be prepared to meet the 40 million asking price. I know many of you might recoil like Liverpool's not first choice goalkeeper, and they've signed Mamardashvili to replace Alisson. So he's not even like the successor to Alisson, but trust me, I'm taking Kelleher every day of the week over Jorgensen and Sanchez combined. If they were both allowed to, if they had half the goal each, yeah, they're allowed to both start. I'm still taking Kelleher over them. I'm slightly satirical, but we move. Now, the former Man United scout, who has a wealth of experience in top-level player recruitment after over a decade at Manchester United, explained Maresca wants to improve between the sticks. It's a position they're going to have to look at. Chelsea have always shown that if there's a player they want and feel that will improve their team, they're prepared to spend huge fees to get him. He's speaking about Kepa Arrizabalaga, which is, of course, the previous regime. We spent money on Sanchez, but like 25 million quid in Sanchez. 25 million pounds too much, but still. Eventually, yeah. So he goes on essentially saying, yes, they're going to get a goalkeeper and possibly a defender. Yes, music to my sweet, vulnerable ears. I want to hear a goalkeeper and striker, and I'd like to see Champions League. And then I can have a restful summer. I can just lay in the sun and rejuvenate. All right. So we're going to look a little bit about this article here, skim through it from, again, Toomey, Simon Johnson. Look, I really respect both of these journalists. I know Fabrizio Romano and seemingly even Ornstein have been putting out a lot of very, very, it just seems pro-Chelsea briefings. There's no other way around it. You know, saying, oh, other teams are really scared. I mean, shut up. Even if that was true, which very unlikely for people to believe right now, it's not the thing you say right now. Like, you've got to read the room, and no one's reading any rooms at the moment. 2 days after suffering the second back-to-back, after the Brighton pain, Chelsea initiated a team meeting at Cobham while producing what head coach Maresca subsequently described as the worst performance of his tenure, the 3-0 loss at Brighton. Chelsea's body language on the pitch was every bit of alarming. Yeah, I was miserable, guys. You probably remember those 2 games against Brighton. I was genuinely crestfallen. The result, Chelsea's 4th Premier League loss in 9 games, dropped them below Man City, Bournemouth, and we're in 6th, of course. I think we're in 5th now, level on points with 4th. It's very tight, I think. Maresca's team were in free fall and hopes of Champions League qualification. I mean, we technically might still be in free fall. You know what I mean? Like, the Southampton's a mood lifter, and you know, I think a double win against Copenhagen or a draw away and a win, just, you know, advancing through the time, and a win against Leicester, even though they're all games you should win, that would be an opportunity to look at us differently, despite expecting to win those games, just because winning is like a habit that you can gain back. But Southampton are... In fact, one sec. Yeah, I didn't actually know the result of Leicester yesterday, but they lost 2-0 to Potter's West Ham. So, yeah, Leicester were also terrible. Terrible. So Chelsea were in a really poor slump of form and had a meeting. In the meeting, according to numerous sources who, as everyone consulted with this article, spoke anonymously to The Athletic to protect relationships, as we always hear, frank words were exchanged. Some of the key points were made were that the standards in training needed to improve, the players needed to be more serious and together, and that individual egos and ambitions must be set aside for the good of the team. Heck yes. That last bit. Football's a team sport, yeah. Coming out of the meeting, the consensus was very positive, that honest conversation had been highly productive in terms of clearing the air. Some in the squad are harboured concerns about the level of leadership during the bad run. I agree. I've harboured concerns about the lack of leadership in this team for a long time. But the day after the meeting, club captain Reece James and others in a leadership group in Chelsea's squad, which is fluid around the edges, but the core includes Enzo Fernandez, can see that, very much a leader. Caicedo, yeah, I mean, he's very tenacious, he's been given the armband sometimes, but I wondered if there was like a reserved side to him. Levi Colwill, I can see that. I mean, Colwill will become a leader, he just needs years, doesn't need to like settle in and be a bit less petulant and calm down a little bit. Uncle Tosin, he's 27. I mean, what? Bloody hell, turned 36 in a couple of weeks. Must be granddad. And third choice goalkeeper Marcus Bettinelli, who's of course he's been there for ages, popular player in the dressing room. Yes, so they're attempting to bring players together. Results do not always provide immediate validation. Of course, we lost again in the Prem to Aston Villa, but while the pattern of the game was similar to other style defeats, the vibe was different. Maresca's team started brightly. We did look alright in that first half, took the lead, remained competitive after the home side equalised, missing the chances and being undone in the 89th minute when Philip Jorgensen basically let that shot go through him. TV footage captured Fernandez fighting back the tears as he apologised to the Chelsea support. Yeah, that was kind of sad. Back in the dressing room, some of his teammates were lying on the floor in exhaustion. James volunteered himself up to field questions in the media. Another notable sign that he is growing in his captaincy. Yeah, freaking hope so, man. We need a bit of that. JT would come out and talk all the time, you know, as Pilaqueta. We had loads of leaders. Yeah, it's a little bit more of an analysis, of course, of the win against Southampton. Pedro Neto stepping up, and Cole Palmer, who's not been doing anything at the moment, really. I just said to the players that probably we're on our worst moment in terms of result, but we are 4th, 1 point from 3rd, and we are in our worst moment, said Maresca, the Chelsea manager. So that means a lot. And well, it does if you can arrest the slump, mate. That you need to prove to Chelsea fans. And also shows how good we have been in the first part of the season. Now it's trying to finish in the best way. Yeah, but it's almost like you can be forgiven for being a bit worse in the first part of the season if you pick up in the second part when you've been together for longer. I know there'll be people that suggest that injuries and exhaustion and whatever. But yeah, look, this is a little bit of a puff piece. Goes into how the squad are sort of coming back together. They've had the meetings. They found the problem with the A and the B team, with how that was being praised at first, but then the perception was it was good, but then when the games went, it sort of caused... Because if you do look, the end of the league phase of the Conference League was kind of when stuff started falling apart for us. Coincided slightly. I know there was injuries as well, but it kind of did, really. So they need to figure out a way to consolidate who they are together now, because the knockout game surely is going to be strong Chelsea lineups. Unless like we go away to Copenhagen and slap them up like silly amounts, and then you can rest a few players at Stamford Bridge. Do you know what I mean? And look, if you're interested, I'd go and read this article that goes on, speaks about Cole Palmer, Fofana, and stuff like that. There is a quote here at the end. The time for Chelsea to show that process is working, the process that we are going in, is fast approaching, if not already approached, I'd say, against far more daunting opponents than championship-bound Southampton. But the will is there, and Maresca spoke for more than just himself when he responded to a question about the supporter protest that took place outside Stamford Bridge on Tuesday's game. That was prior to kickoff, of course. The only thing I can say is at the moment, I think the fans have to trust the club. Because we are in the right process, we are in the right direction. I said many times since the start, I think we have been in the top 4 for most games in the season. That means we're in the right direction. Especially, I think we have to trust the players, because they're doing a huge effort every day to bring the club where it has to be, and that is in the Champions League. It's hard to trust the player. Well, glad he said that, and that is in the Champions League. He's definitely been like prepped by media teams to change his tune on that. I do think it's hard to trust the players purely because they are children. It's all new for them, and my biggest concern is they learn to be losers rather than learning to be winners. And who are they learning to be winners of? Hopefully we bring in, some of that into the team. Look, I'm not as miserable as I was after the Brighton games, because I did see a sort of togetherness. I do quite like what I'm seeing with Pedro Neto in the Villa and the Southampton game. I do like how Enzo Fernandez is applying himself and performing. I do think Cucurella is looking pretty darn good again. And I can try and have hope for the future if this big goalkeeper money story is true. I mean, I can't see how we don't sign a good goalkeeper, because you can criticize these men all you want about the project, the young kids from South America, whatever the negative thing, fine, but they don't want to lose every football match, and you've got to have a guy in goal who's not just letting him in like that. So I have to believe that they're going to sign a new goalkeeper. But let me know what you think. Please do leave your comments down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for liking and subscribing. If you want a bit of fun, if you're like things like fantasy football, check out Stocks FC by scanning this QR code or clicking the link in the top of the description. Go have a bit of fun with it. Why not? And I hope to see you guys back here very soon. Peace.